Hello, this is Richard Amoroso, member of the Philadelphia Orchestra's first violin section, and today we're going to talk about trills and how to play them clearly. A lot of you have mentioned that you struggle with trills. A lot of my students struggle with trills. So let's sort of do a deep dive at how to get these to sound clear. So a lot of times trills are usually problematic for people that don't articulate well. And articulation really has to come from the knuckle joint, okay? If we're not moving the fingers from the knuckle, we're sort of not going to have the same strength of articulation that we would otherwise, okay? So let's really talk about the position of the hand. Sometimes people have their hand out like this and kind of sort of don't have much leverage. So let's get these knuckles kind of underneath the fingers and have the balance of the hand really complete so that there's nothing too strong on this side of the hand versus this side of the hand. You can see how I'm kind of back here and my fourth finger is kind of extended. Let's get this part of the hand a little bit more sort of, again, closer to the fingerboard and have the knuckles kind of underneath the finger, okay? So that when we move the finger up and down, we're really moving it strong. Lots of times I'll have, I'll either hold my student's hand like this or have my student hold their hand themselves, just making sure that they can feel the motion of the finger picking up from the knuckle joint, okay? And you can see, and you can hear almost sort of how strong this articulation is, okay? The other thing is to make sure that when you're doing a trill, that we keep the bass finger really still and relaxed, and this side of the hand really relaxed. This finger and the first and second finger really need to stay absolutely still, okay? And very light. If we squeeze here, we're kind of blocking this part of the hand, okay? So really make sure that the second finger and first, if we're doing a second and third finger trill, that they're very, very sort of, like, everything from the thumb to the second finger, the first finger is very relaxed, okay? And you can see I'm moving the finger from the knuckle joint. Okay, then to kind of get it going a little bit faster, make sure the finger is not too far away from the string, maybe a centimeter above, the fingerboard, that is. Okay, and I would do sort of exercises where you kind of do a couple, flutters, trying to make sure that we're articulating again with this side of the hand, keeping this very still and very relaxed. And we could do it even with the third and fourth finger. And again, I'm using this knuckle joint. And then one. I have to say, doing it with the first and second finger is much easier than these fingers. So here's what I would suggest. Do Kreutzer number 15, okay? This is a great etude where we kind of have the endings and the trills. Okay, and you have to have the discipline to move the fingers at different speed from the ending to the trill, okay? I really try to make that sure the second finger is down and the first finger is down very, like I said, very lightly here. And all I'm doing is fluttering this third finger and then really articulating the 1, 2, 1 after this. Making sure this is all very still. Lots of times I see a lot of motion with the wrist as well. Make sure this is all very still and very relaxed and kind of, like I say, hanging from the fingerboard. Then you can just sort of be creative and do different rhythms. Some are suggested in the Galamian book that I have. So just go and find the most challenging variations and just do them a lot. The last thing I will suggest is to use a metronome. A metronome is always very vital to kind of making sure that these sort of articulations are even. You can do triplets or 30 seconds, you name it, okay? But definitely use the metronome to make sure that these notes are even. It really does make a difference. Let me know how that goes. Please let me know what you think in the comments. I look forward to hearing from you, okay? And we'll see you soon.